Ephesians 2 is one of the most powerful statements in all the Bible that describes how faith in Jesus should lead, must lead to the tearing down of all walls of prejudice and pride that might exist between us. Let's not forget that the Jews had their own racial baggage back in Jesus' day. Remember what they were called? They were the chosen people. In fact, they were so special that they had a word they used to describe everyone else. If you weren't a Jew, then you were a Gentile. That's rather audacious, arrogant even when you think about it. There's you and your group, and then there's a word that describes everybody else. I've met New England Patriot fans who kind of think that way. Well, what often happened is that the Jews forgot why it was that God chose them in the first place. The reason God chose them is not because they were so special or better than anyone else. It was all because of His grace. God chose them because He chose them. And whenever the Jews forgot that, they couldn't resist the tendency to look down on everyone else. But now, because of Jesus Christ, all this had changed. Both Jew and Gentile could now be reconciled not only to God, but to each other. And so Paul writes in Ephesians 2 and verse 13 to a congregation that is made up of both Jew and Gentile, a congregation no doubt simmering with all this racial tension. Paul writes this to them: "But now, in Christ Jesus, you who were once far away from God have been brought near through the blood of Christ." But not only were Jew and Gentile to be reconciled now to God, but they were to be reconciled to each other. Verse 14. "For He Himself is our peace, who has made the two one, and has destroyed the barrier, the dividing wall of hostility." And where is all of this supposed to take them? Verse 19. "Consequently, you are no longer foreigners and aliens, but fellow citizens with God's people and members of God's household. One church made up of blood-bought souls from every tribe, tongue, and nation." This is God's dream for us and for the church. Sadly, what is it they say about us? 11 o'clock on Sunday is the most segregated hour in America.